Welcome to Muscular Development's AJ's Road to the Olympia. And today, and guys, remember, I can get anyone I want in the world. But for this prediction, I wanted the real experts of bodybuilding to be on my show. These are all people, I will introduce to you them soon, but these are all passionate people who watch different divisions, who promote bodybuilding, who compete in bodybuilding, who prep bodybuilding, who've seen all the Olympias that's probably ever been on TV. They've been to Olympias and they know what's up. Sometimes, guys, you can have bigger names or legends, but they don't watch it that closely. But these guys do. So that's why this prediction show is going to be a prediction show to remember. And now we're going to introduce some people. My co-host for this is Faisal here today. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Still active, a competitor in NPC Classic Physique. Probably competing next year. I hold a podcast called Classic Culture with another co-host who's an IFBB pro. Plus, I'm still active on Arabic TV. So because I've lived in different places in the world, I can speak 2 different languages fluently, and so I'm promoting the bodybuilding in the Arab countries and in the UK. Plus, I've lived in the US. So whoever's from the US, man, rock on, guys.
Then we have Greg Elise down there to the left. We share our love for wrestling, don't we?
Yes, exactly. The wrestling that we've been sharing that from the beginning. I turned pro in 2008 at the Canadian Nationals. I got the second pro card. The first pro card was won by Ben Pakowski. I've been a fan of bodybuilding for about as long as I can remember, and wrestling same time. And I feel very privileged to be with you guys talking about an epic Olympia.
And we love to discuss bodybuilding on DMs after shows, don't we?
Exactly.
Yeah. Then we have Michael Bryson. Some people, what can we say? You really help the sport in such a big way, Michael. This is bodybuilding. People for Instagram. Definitely. Promote bodybuilding 24/7. Post. You help the sport grow in a positive way, Michael. And that's why I wanted to have you on. Thank you for coming on.
AJ, thank you so much. I'm totally honored.
Tell us a little bit about when did your love for bodybuilding start?
I've been probably the strongest, started probably around 1980, although I followed before that in the 70s as well. When I was little, my brother was a bodybuilder, not a competitor, but he just did it for passion and had all the magazines around the house. So as a little kid, I would read those just like I would read the Incredible Hulk or Superman comic books. So it's been a long, long time. And
you also share the love for wrestling, correct?
Absolutely. Totally. Greg talk about that all the time.
Who did you root for? Ultimate Warrior, Hulk Hogan during WrestleMania 5 there, wasn't it?
WrestleMania 6. Would be Hulk Hogan.
No, bro. You got to go with the warrior spirit, bro. I'm not so... Anyway, thank you for coming on. Then we have pleasure. Michael Cox. We met on Muscle Development forums. He used to diss me, call me a midget ginger kid, I remember. But now he is a competitor, NPC bodybuilder. Introduce yourself.
AJ, I want to apologize. I had no idea you were like 6'8", 300 pounds.
Thank you.
Somebody in someone's mother's basement. No, bro, I appreciate you having me on, man. I've been following this since 1986, 87, right around when Mike Ashton, Gary Strider were big. Saw Sean Ray in 87, wanted to compete. So I love it. This is my obsession. So I appreciate being on, bro.
Chris Griffin, a.k.a. The Goon. We talk at least 4 times a week, discuss bodybuilding, everything bodybuilding related. When there's a show, I'm like, bro, this is scandal, bro. This is, I don't want to see the other word, but this is a disgrace. We don't agree to this. He had, who did you have winning? Kuklo, or who did you have placing higher? Kuklo or Rami at the Arnold?
Kuklo.
So he was going on and on about Kuklo there. Introduce yourself a little bit.
Chris Griffin, kind of better known as the Goon. Basically, since I've been 13, picked up the mag, saw Arnold in the movies, started lifting. I live for this shit. Shitty genetics, but I still compete. I'm like, in my mid-40s. I just love it.
And you also started with men's. You went to men's physique, correct? After
Yes.
being a bodybuilder.
After being a bodybuilder, I just can't keep this. I mean, I'm about your height.
Yeah.
So, I'm in a division with a bunch of guys who are 5'6". I look like a string bean, so I threw on the board shorts.
Speaking about midgets, we have Nigel up there to the left. I'm just playing. And guys, Nigel is the first black Jew I've ever met. And for that, it's special. Nigel, I first got a touch in Nigel in the commentary on Most Development. He's so opinionated. He's so passionate. He's got a great aura, vibe, energy around him. And we discussed, don't we, Nigel?
Yeah.
Introduce
Happy
yourself.
Hanukkah, man. Happy Hanukkah. Yeah, I'm 5'4". I'm glad that there's another Canadian on the panel as well. So bodybuilding actually saved my life. I was 365 pounds.
365 pounds at 5'4"?
At 5'4". Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
Wow.
for bodybuilding, I probably wouldn't live past my late 30s.
Wow.
And I first competed when I was 43 years old
Wow.
in middleweights.
Incredible.
I want to see a transformation picture for that.
You will never see that. No, that was a long time
That
ago.
is inspiration.
It was embarrassing.
Wow, that's impressive. Wow. 360.
Yeah, without surgery, everything was done by diet, other than the skin surgery after I shed off all the weight. So it wasn't gastric or anything like that. I just did it the old-fashioned way, the tough way.
Wow. Well, much respect to you. So, guys, we have an expert panel with, what can we say, love for the sport. What did you say, Faisal?
Yeah. The thing is, I wouldn't call myself an expert, but I just love bodybuilding so much that I can sit down with you for hours and just talk. We've probably watched every single Olympia ever. Yeah.
Let's get into this. Just raise your hand. Who's going to Orlando? We got three. You got everyone other than us. We're in the UK, sadly. And Griffin, you're not going?
No.
Okay, guys. This is going to be a special Olympia. Is it? Just quick, in 30 seconds, what do you look the most forward to, Michael? Bryson?
I most look forward to the return of Phil Heath. Yeah. And also, probably equally, the debut of George Peterson in the 212 division.
Oh, wow.
What about you, Greg? What do you look we look forward to everything, of course, but what do you look the most forward to?
You know what? I'll go with the same thing as Michael said. The return of Phil and George in the 212. And you know what I like? Also, women's bodybuilding, because it's going to be a different thing this year, I think.
Nigel, what do you look the most forward to?
I'm looking forward to Rolly Winkler rolling everybody's ass this year.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I'm looking for.
Go Rolly fans.
And, also, I'm looking forward to Camille. I think he's going to repeat. But the other thing I'm looking forward to is to see what Angel looks like, because Angel is a freak. He's a freak of nature.
Angel Calderon, yeah. Chris, what do you look most forward to?
I'm looking forward to when Phil first walks on stage. Just a silhouette. I just want to see Phil walk out there and just, boom. The bad man is back.
Cox?
Obviously Phil Heath, but it's Dexter's last show. And also Shanique versus Sarah. That's what I really want to see. Shanique on Instagram doesn't look as ready for right now, but Sarah's peeled. So I want to see how that plays out.
So you guys probably didn't know that no one's going to wear tracksuits anymore. So no one's going to wear actual athletic clothwear, So everyone's going to have to turn up with suits. That's what I'm looking forward to.
So we are excited for the men's and the thong. Are you worrying about your suits, huh?
Oh, 100%.
there you go.
I like class. I want bodybuilding to be classy again.
Yes. No, but what do you look so competitive? What do you most look forward to?
Okay, guys, I'm going to be very straightforward about this.
Yeah.
No one realizes how open this Olympia is. We've seen everyone during the year competing, posting a lot of pictures on social media. This year, because of lockdowns, we haven't seen much of anyone. So for me, in my eyes, it's an open Olympia. It could go anywhere. Even though Phil Heath is a 7-time Olympia winner, I still feel like I'm looking forward to see every single guy there. They've earned to be there, and I know how hard it is to train through lockdowns and everything. So, but personally, I want to see Guy Cisternino. He's a good friend of mine. I want him to do well. I know what he's been through, and I really want to see him do well.
Michael Bryson, when Phil Heath revealed he was coming back, how excited did you get?
I was pretty excited. I kind of had a feeling he was going to, but yeah, it's going to be something really big and special, I think.
Let's get into it, guys. Let's talk first about the classic class, correct?
Oh, yeah.
One of the classes that's a lot of new competitors are coming into it, correct?
Yes.
This is going to get interesting. Nigel, can I get your... What can we say? The 5 people to look out for in the classic class, and then you can try to tell me where they're going to place and why.
I only have the top 3 because I only think that there's 3, not 5. But I think Brian is going to win it. Chris Bumstead into 2nd and Alex Calderon in the 3rd. I think Brian's pictures have been ridiculous. He's going to come in. He's probably overly conditioned at this point in time, which means that he has plenty of time to fill in. And I think his carb up is going to be really good. Head to toe, I thought he actually beat Chris last year. I did not have Chris winning at all.
Stop 1 second. 1 second, Nigel. Last year, who had Chris winning last year? Raise their hand. Can you put it? Can you see it in the middle? Because I want to see. Cox, did you raise your hand? So it's only Chris Griffin had Bumstead winning here last year, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. Griffin, are you there?
Bumstead's lines are more. Oh yeah, Bumstead's lines are more classic. To me, Brion looks like a bodybuilder. He looks like a middleweight bodybuilder. Where Bumstead brings something different. And Bumstead's tall. I'm sorry, I'm pulling for the tall guys. There's something a little bit more classic, epic, Arnold-like going on.
Nigel, what's your opinion about that?
If I'm going to go with that, though, I'm going to go with a whole bunch of short guys who are classic. So Danny Padilla was classic, short guy like myself. There are plenty of guys that were short. Lila Brada, classic as well. So you can't say that classic is really a tall sport. The other thing is, if you look at the silhouettes, Brion's got a beautiful silhouette. The only thing that was a huge difference between the two that I think might have put Chris over the top is the fact that Chris did a vacuum shot for every single shot. I swear to God, I've never seen so many vacuums in my whole entire life. But if you look from Chris from the back, to me, has no lower back. Brion's got a beautiful back. His biceps are suspect. Brion's got beautiful biceps. Brion is more balanced than Chris ever was. And classic physique is about being balanced as well. And the silhouette is there for Brion. So, I kind of disagree
on that one. I think Chris just has a much better structure than Brion. Just pure structure. Just from straight up from collarbones to waist. He's got just a better taper, better hang, just better lines. I mean, that's what they judged on last year, was purely on lines. Brion's condition was far better. And let's not forget, coming into this year, Bumstead still had that autoimmune thing. And he was probably 75%.
You can talk to me about autoimmunes. I have Crohn's disease. I have an autoimmune. It's not the worst thing in the whole entire world. I give him props for it, but it's not the be-all, end-all. I mean, I get it. But still, nonetheless, if you look at it from all the structural points, if you go by Milos's theory on how to judge things, there are four things that you judge on. You're right. Silhouette or lines is one of them. but you also have to have the muscular development. You also have to have the balance. You also have to have noticeable weak body parts. I just named 2 weak body parts on Chris. I agree with Brian when he says, Mr. Olympia should not have more weak body parts than the person that he beats. And if you stand them up, side by side, the person with the weakest body parts in the top 2 would have been Chris Bumstead. Oh. That means that Brian should have won.
Okay.
Now, if I'm going to go with
I have to.
Go ahead.
Okay. Let's, because we have a lot of things to talk about, but this is great. This is what we like, you know. And this is, don't be afraid to debate. That's what people want to see. Okay. So we put it on. 1 second. Nigel has Brian, Chris, and Alex Combinero in your top 3, correct?
That's correct.
Let's go to Greg. Who's your top 3?
Okay. As my top 3, I'm going to go with Bumstead, Brian, and it's going to be probably Terence Ruffin, might be 3rd.
Okay.
Or maybe Logan Franklin, and I'll tell you why.
Okay, why?
The way, because I was there last year at the show, okay? What I realized, we cannot judge classic as open bodybuilding because it's not the same. Last year, if you would have taken it from the way it was, George Peterson should have won the show. He was the talk of the show. But the way classic is judged number 1 on structure. And as Chris said, Chris Bumstead is 6'1", and they're looking for a tall guy, like Arnold was. Because remember, on stage, he projects taller and bigger. His structure is bigger. So if we go by logic, if last year Chris was not his best and he won against Brian, that was better. So what it tells you that if Chris comes in better, he wins. And now, what's his name? Brian is in the same position that George Peterson was. Because now he's looking like a bodybuilder. So he might even end up 3rd. Because now they need to have a distinction with classes. And I'm with you guys. To me, classic bodybuilding should have been like bodybuilding. But I understand what they're doing. They want to have a distinct look for every class. Because if they judge bodybuilding, a classic, as open bodybuilding, it will be a mess. So that's why, yes, you're right. And you're right, Nigel. Chris' back is not great and all that. But remember, in classic, it's not about mass and condition, it's structure. And at 6'1" at his height, and the way he looks, and when you see him on stage, you understand. And if you look on the lineup right now, Logan Franklin is the guy that looks the more like him. So they're going toward taller guys. So that's why. So if Brian this year doesn't win, it tells you something. It tells Brian can't stay in the classic anymore. He has to move up because he's going to get the same treatment as Danny Esther's got. Danny Esther every year just got lower on the end. Everybody's doing like that because now they're going, like Chris said, with taller guys. And also remember one thing, Chris is 25, Brian is 41.
True. I agree with you in certain respects, but if they're going to say classic is supposed to be a nod to the 70s, then what they should say is it's a nod to the 70s tall people, because that is not, the 70s wasn't just with tall people. And if they're going to do that, then somebody like Wesley Visser could be your Mr. Olympia, which to me is just, yeah, I mean, that to me is maddening.
So,
I mean,
no. You're right. Wesley's not good. Wesley is not close to Bumstead. I'm not saying that.
Greg,
no, but I'm
one second. Okay, so Greg, what's your top three again?
Basically, Chris Bumstead, Brian Hensley, and I got in third, Terence Ruffin.
Okay, this is Michael.
I agree with you on Terence Ruffin, but Terence is not exactly a tall man either. But I mean, he's got a beautiful structure. But I mean, and he looks outstanding, by the way. But he's not a tall guy. So I'm kind of interested in why you would put Terence in there, given the fact that you did make a really good point about taller guys along with Chris.
Michael Bryson.
I'm going to jump in. and I kind of agree with everything Greg said. I think, if we were to pick the most complete bodybuilders, if Classic was about the most complete bodybuilders, then Brian and George would have been the top two for the last 3 years. But they're clearly favoring the structure and the height of guys like Chris Bumstead. I would say I think Brian can't be denied that he will be second, in my opinion. And in third, I'm also going to go with Logan Franklin for the same reason that Greg thought that he possibly could be there. That structure, his height. But I also can understand what Greg meant with Terence Ruffin, because to me, though Terence is shorter, like Brian, he's definitely got more of a taper, more of a classic shape, more like a Lee Labrada, say, in my opinion.
Michael Cox, one second. Michael Cox, who's your top three?
Listen, Brian has a better physique than Bumstead, but this is classic. I thought Bumstead's got a beautiful look, and that's what they're going for. When you see a classic bodybuilder, Chris Cormier was classic, Sean Ray was classic, Lee Haney was classic, all different heights, right? Bumstead has that look. Logan Franklin has that look. Terence Ruffin has that look. Brian's got a better physique. Brian is a 212 bodybuilder now. If he's sucking down to make weight, he's not. When you see classic, you know it. Francis Benfato was the ultimate classic physique, but we didn't have a term. There was no class for that. So, Logan, I didn't think he should have won in the New York Pro. I'm not a huge fan of his physique, but he's got that Weeder boy, cover muscle and fitness look. That's what the sport is gearing to. And Terence Ruffin, in my opinion, he has the ultimate classic physique. He's as close to Benfato as we've seen, but he's just small. So a good big man is going to beat a good small man any day. I'm 5'6". The struggle is real. So, but you know it when you see it. You know what I mean? And Bumstead's got weight to grow in his class. I mean, maybe eventually he'll bump up to open, but he's going to ride this wave of classes. It's going to be him and Logan. That's kind of what you can kind of tell. That's where it's headed to right now, and that's going to be the big rivalry going into next year.
Really, Logan is going to be the new. One second. Speaking to everyone, Chris Griffin, who's in your top three?
I'm throwing somebody completely different in the mix.
Okay.
I got Bumstead first, and I actually think Brian's going to get hurt without having George. George was another bodybuilder type. So now when you start throwing in Ruffin, Logan Franklin, you're going to be more classic guys. And Brian's going to be like the orange with a bunch of apples. And as everyone says, he does have a better physique, but he's not to the standard. I'm still putting Brian second, but I could see him bump to third. And I like Alex.
Wow.
Yeah,
Alex is great. Yeah. Alex
I just think this kid, there's just something about him. Like when I see him, I say, that's classic. I like Ruffin too for fourth. I just think he's going to get eaten up in a lineup when you have the top five, and he's just a much smaller guy, but he has probably the prettiest physique of any. His posing is better than anyone, but I just think he's going to get lost in that lineup.
Faisal, who's in your top three?
All right, there's two. There's who I want. And realistically,
who's going to be the top three?
I think Chris Bumstead will win it again. Clearly, because the guy has he had a lot of time to improve, and he's still young. He got criticized a lot for his back. We haven't seen much of him, but again, with what we've seen so far from social media, he has brought his back up. Again, I agree with the guys. Brian Ansley, he's gone a little bit too far. He probably would have to say goodbye to the classic division very, very soon. Ruffin, I would like to see him play second. But then there's a guy you probably never mentioned is Danny Unan. The guy has always improved. He's always been consistent. I've seen him since day one, and he's never sort of stalled. He's always in a constant progress. And seeing him just by looking like a little sneak peek last night on his social media, he looks fine. But again, putting them together, that's a different ball game when you put everyone next to each other. You know.
So how many of you have Brion winning?
Oh, 100%.
Brion winning?
Yes. Oh, sorry.
No. How many of you have Brion winning? It's Nigel and that's it? Who has Bumstead winning?
Yeah, 100%.
Okay. So this expert panel that I've in the classic have most of you have Bumstead retaining and Nigel has Brion.
Yep.
My top 3 is going to be Brion, Bumstead, and it's going to be Alex Combinero. And I will not predict the winner, but because I got to do a lot of politics, because I got to do a lot more. But anyway, those are my top 3. Are we happy with the evolution of the classic class since it started?
No.
Yes.
Yeah, I like it.
I have something to say. I think I mentioned this before, and I've been criticized for me being very open about this. I remember Regan Grimes coming back to doing classic, and I criticized him so much that we actually had an argument on social media.
He blocked you, huh?
And he blocked me, and it was all cat fight. But then I think he kind of contributed towards ruining the class because he made everyone chase a lot of size. And what was happening here with Brion, he was kind of becoming more muscular and coming out of that shape that we wanted to look like, the vacuum, the structure of a classic physique. It went back to Bumstead, which for me looks like, okay, everything's going back to normal now. But again, is there a criteria for classic physique? I don't think so. There is no criteria. There shouldn't be a certain look. I mean, we'd like to think that this is the ultimate physique that we'd like to look at, when we look at like Arnold and all these guys, and we want someone to look like that. But I think everyone's chasing making weight now, and I'm hoping to see more of bodybuilders coming with smaller waists and more quality.
Nigel, you said no?
No, I disagree with that because, I'm not a big fan of the vacuum. And when I first started looking at bodybuilding, I really liked the physiques of like Danny Padilla. I really liked, the fact that the, Lee Haney's and that you could be muscular, that you didn't really need that vacuum. I think that if they're going to have the criteria of 70 and 80s, then it should be the criteria of 70 and 80s. It shouldn't be you have to look like Arnold. Arnold is the standard of it, of everything. In that case, I have all the respect in the world for Frank Zane, but I never wanted to look like Frank Zane. I just didn't. I thought he had a beautiful body, but to me, that wasn't very exciting to look at. Now, somebody like Bob Paris, now that is to me, that is a quintessential classic look.
Are you a little bit biased now? You know what I mean?
I do know what you mean, but no, but I think everybody on the panel can agree that Bob Paris has a beautiful classic physique. And if they were going to go with that sort of look, and Bob Paris was not known for,
Bob Paris never placed top 5 in the Olympia either. So.
He never did.
I agree. He never placed, but I'm just saying they did not say that classic bodybuilding had to be somebody who actually won the Olympia in the 70s and the 80s and the 90s.
Bryson made a good point there, bro. Michael,
in my opinion, with classic physique, how I wanted it to be would be, they have height and weight requirements. And in no time in bodybuilding history has the standard been simply just the most prettiest shape or figure. It's always been who's the most complete bodybuilder. And that changed throughout the decades as things like drugs and nutritional knowledge changed and people grew and hardness came into play. But if they're putting height and weight requirements on it, it should be the best bodybuilder who fits that height and weight requirement, in my opinion.
Exactly.
Regardless of
height and weight class don't make you classic. Labrada was classic at 5'4". Bob Paris is classic 5'10". And Lee Haney did do a vacuum, just so you know.
he did. So did Danny Padilla.
Yeah, and the ultimate
Jay
classic
Cutler did
physique,
too, by the way, but he's too big.
Is Francis Benfato. Like the trophy should be built, which should be made as Francis Benfato. He was 176 pounds in 1990 and took 5th place. So a little guy can beat a big guy, but it's bigger, stronger, faster, even with classic physique. You know what I mean? Like the bigger guy's going to win.
Before we go to the next,
I agree with
I want to make a point.
one second, because we have to go. So we have Bumstead. Most of us have Bumstead winning. Someone have Brian. Most like the class. How it's going. A couple don't. Last question. We're just gonna ask one of you, and because we gotta go. But there's a lot of other guys in classic. Give me 2 names that's gonna shock people. Greg, maybe not in the top 3, but what are 2 names in the classic class that might shock some people this year? Give me 2 names.
I got Danny Union. And oh god, I got another name. Forgot. I got Union in my head. I got another guy in my head there. Maybe Michael can help me out. He got second.
We're not gonna help you.
So yeah, hold on. Yeah.
How can we help you with that, bro?
You're alone.
But I got one guy, Danny Union. Watch out for this guy.
Okay, Michael Bryson, give me 2 names.
2 names to look out for will be Ricky Moten.
Oh, yes.
And
Yes.
Jason Brown. Jason Brown is another person to look out for. He's coached by Justin Miller. He didn't win a show. He's going in on points, but he's 6'1", 6'2", and he's looking good.
Griffin, 2 names.
I'm saying Alex. I mean, I don't think a lot of people before out there have Alex in the top 3.
2 names that we all have. Many of us have Alex in top 3. 2 names that's gonna impress us that might not make top 3, but 2. Since we only mention your top 3, who's 2 other names to look out for?
I think Union's going to make a big jump up. He has a really good physique. And honestly, I'm not seeing a lot. Once you get past the top 6, you got 15 guys who are pretty much identical.
Yeah, that's a good point.
You know, I mean, it's who shows up on that given day. Like, who's leaner, who's filled up better. But, I mean, you have 40 guys in the class, and let's face it, like, 6 through 15 is like the same guy. Then 15 through 25 is the same guy.
And one thing, guys, I'm looking at my phone a little bit. Is because I've postponed a superstar interviewer because I need more time, because I know this is a good one. We can't finish this in 40. So we're going to keep on you know what I mean? I just told him to come because this is exciting. We get different. Okay. Last question then, Cox, and we go into the 2 names to look out for.
I got Ricky Moten, and if Wesley Visser is in shape at 100%, I love that dude's physique, man. He's got a classic look, and that's where they're going. He's not a bodybuilder, but he's got a classic physique. You know what I mean?
Before we go, Nigel, you're getting a heart attack over there. What's wrong?
Wesley Visser. First of all, he'd have to come in shape. He has never come. He won the Pittsburgh Pro and was not in shape. And I believe it was Divine that got the worst end of that whole decision. And I think, Mike, you were at that show. Wesley Visser, were you at that show? Yeah, I thought you were.
Yeah.
Wesley Visser has never come in shape. If he comes in shape, that would be the most shocking part.
And if that happens, then he's going to place high.
I'm sorry? Sorry, Mike? Say again?
Oh, and again, everybody's a big if. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If he comes in shape, yes. You know what I mean? Like, if Rolly comes in shape, it's going to be great to see.
We're going to talk about Rolly in a minute, but my outsider is Mike Summerfield. I think he'll come in shape. I like the way that he looked overseas. He did UK.
Nigel, let me stop there. I was in Romania, bro. He didn't even make the top 5 in the local amateur. No, I want to say that. He didn't make top 5 in a show with no one of high, what can we say? I take that back. Also, because we had Peter Molnar winning, but he wasn't second. He wasn't third, and you have him in your top 3 at the O. But you don't have Visser or no one else, but you have Mike Summerfield.
No.
Explain
I didn't say the top 3. I said that he could shock.
Okay.
It's Mike Summerfield. And I also think that I think Terence Ruffin probably will be the most pleasant surprise because he was not on anybody's radar until recently. But I think Terence Ruffin is going to look really good. I wasn't that impressed with the way that he looked. I believe it was in the New York Pro. I'm with some people about the fact that I wasn't really that impressed, but I've seen some shots of him, and Chris is right. He does have a really nice physique. He really does look good. I'm excited to see him fill out and look a lot better than his last competition.
20 seconds.
Those two.
I have one guy, and I think Nigel mentioned him, Michael Summerfield. I watch out for this guy. This guy is probably the next Mr. Olympia anytime.
Next Mr. Olympia. Anytime.
It might not be next year, but it will happen. He probably has the most beautiful structure I've ever seen. The kid just didn't figure it out yet.
Okay.
Once it's figured out, I think it's game over for everyone.
Okay, classic class, Nigel. Let's go. Classic class is in class where no one will really agree because there's really no standards. So it is, but it's an interesting class. You compete in it. You have your ups and downs because you don't know the standards each time and you know what they're looking for. Yeah, we know, but let's move forward. Now we are going into women's physique. Everyone watches women's physique? Nigel, do you watch it?
Yeah, I watch it a little bit.
Let's start 1 second. Let's start with Greg because you haven't spoken in a while. Greg, who's going to be in your top 3? Who do you think is going to win it, and who's 2 to look out for? Let's do it like that each time, huh? Who's your top 3?
Okay,
who's going to win it, and who's 2 to look out for?
It's going to be to me between Shanique, Sarah, and you know what? I got in third. Maybe Natalia in third. But I think the real battle is between Sarah and Shanique.
Okay.
They're 2 different physiques, and like Mike Cox said, Shanique's structure is unbelievable, but her condition at this point is not as great. And Sarah's condition is good. It's very good. And to me, Sarah's physique is more complete, even though Shanique has a prototype of physique that is never seen. But between these two is going to be a real battle. But I'm telling you, the top 6, I would say in physique right now, there's 5-6 girls that are really close. It's going to be a real battle because even there's that New York girl that won New York Pro. I think her name is the real Lois Lane on Instagram.
Rachel.
She's good.
Rachel Daniels.
She's good too. She's to watch out.
Chris Griffin, who's in your top 3 and who's 2 to watch out for?
Well, first I want to say Shanique's a generational athlete. We are lucky to be witnessing Shanique, progress. Like everyone else is saying, she just doesn't look there in her videos. I mean, condition-wise. And she does have one other weakness is her back. So I think it's going to be a real pick'em between her and Sarah. I mean, Sarah right now is a little eviscerated.
She's looking crazy, yeah. Crazy.
It's crazy.
Michael, 2 to look out for, Griffin. Griffin, 2 to look out for?
Like I said, Shanique, Sarah, and I like Natalia. I mean, Natalia's
two other people that you have in the top 3, like 2 to look out for. You know what I mean? Like other than the top 3, who can shock?
Natalia, obviously, and then he brought her up. That Rachel girl, that real Lois Lane. She's got a great look, and there's something about her when she's on stage. Eyes are drawn to her. Mm-hmm. She has kind of like that Terence Ruffin, like you zero in on her.
Michael Bryson, who's in your top 3 and who's 2 to look out for in women's physique?
Yeah, so I'm going to agree with everybody that it's going to be between Shanique and Sarah. To me, I favor Sarah. Shanique has got a beautiful physique, sort of like Flex Wheeler versus Dorian Yates in a way, right? Wow. Like the beautiful muscle bellies on Shanique And then that mature muscle, the back of Sarah is just killer. And because, like Chris said, the back is not the strongest point on Shanique. Also with Shanique, I find like when she flexes, nothing much changes. Do you know what I mean? Like there's no additional pop to the muscle.
Yeah,
they're
okay.
beautiful. It's a beautiful physique. So it's going to be between those two. And third, I have Natalia. And then the two that I would say to look out for are Anne Moan, I think is her name.
Yes,
She's looking super shredded.
Finally, we have someone that really watches women's physique. Carry on.
Yeah, Anne Moan. Yeah, true.
Yeah, Anne is totally shredded and she's dangerous. And then also I agree with everybody else so far. Rachel Daniels could shock some people. She gets crazy shredded. She poses beautifully. She's got charisma. She will grab the attention of the judges and the audience.
Michael Cox, who's in your top 3 and who's to look out for?
I got Shanique, Sarah, and Ivy Rain in third.
Ooh.
Ivy,
Wow.
Ivy's great. I love Ivy.
Phenomenal, bro. Like absolutely phenomenal. And to look out for, I would say maybe again Anne Moan, and if Valentina Machina can tighten it up from a couple of weeks ago, I don't know. She gets peeled, and this is what the class is going to, that really hard granite type look. This is what they've judged the top 5 the past all year. But Shanique doesn't get that hard. But do you want to open that can of worms and have these girls turn into women's bodybuilding? So the judges got to kind of figure out which way they're going to go. Shanique, like I said, isn't 100%, not 100%, but she's not a freak. She's a Linda Murray type freak, a shape freak. But some of these other girls are going to out-muscle her, out-condition her. But you pick a big girl to win this show, boom. It's going to turn. Remember back in 92? The same thing happened again.
True. Yeah,
they had to put, Anya Schreiner won the Arnold Classic.
Exactly,
Paul Kershaw came in big and hard. Once it's out of the bottle, you can't put it back in. They got to make a decision on which way they're going.
Faisal, your top 3 and who's to look out for, and then we go Nigel, and then go Matt.
I am actually going to apologize for this because I don't actually follow women's
There's
physique.
nothing to apologize for. So Shanique,
I respect all the athletes that put a lot of effort in this, though.
Nigel?
I'm going to go Sarah for the win, and then Shanique and Ivy.
And who's to look out for?
So I like the girl, I think her name's Pin Pagera from
Thailand. Very great athlete.
Oh, she's good.
I think she's really good. I think I saw her 2 years ago at the Olympia, and she was really impressive. So she's my outside chance. And then Natalie.
Who?
Natalie.
Who's Natalie? Natalia Coelho?
Natalia.
Okay.
Natalia. Sorry, Natalia.
Women's physique.
Oh, guys, there's a girl also from Mexico, Laura, I forgot her name. Laura from Mexico.
Rakuda.
She looks like a freak.
Laura Tintinella?
Yeah,
she finished 5th last year at the Olympia, and she had a very classic women's physique look. She's blown up, huge.
Blown up. Oh, my
enormous right now.
So women's physique is this is the best year ever for women's physique. It's so stacked. It's really incredible. Like you said, this girl from Thailand, Ping, I can't pronounce the name. For instance, she beat Natalia Coelho last year. Anne Moon was very close with Natalia Coelho at the Arnold. She's then gone on to make gains, and she won Spain in perfect score. On the pictures, Natalia Coelho now is not in the shape at all as compared to Anne Moon, but that doesn't say that she can't do it. Shanique Grant on Instagram isn't the same as we think, but she also changes the fastest of anyone else, correct?
Yes.
Laura Rakuda, amazing last year, but as you've seen, the delts are getting. She's looking like Marcus Rule now. So we don't know what's that. Evie Rain, beautiful. This is women's physique, correct, Michael Cox?
It's physique, man. And when you listen, these girls, they get so big and so dry. Like Trish Wood gets so dry and conditioned that, listen, some of these girls may stand in that Miss Olympia lineup. They may be out-muscled, but they're going to out-condition a lot of those bodybuilders, you know? So,
True.
But listen, I'm a fan of that, though. I like the freak show. I love the freak show, man. And this is what we grew up with. So
So this,
I love it.
Correct. This is the verdict. Who many of you have Shanika winning? Raise your hand. 3 out of the 5, because you don't vote right now. Who of you have Sarah Villegas winning? Okay. So this is a real fight with Brian and Bumstead and the women's physique class then, huh? Great. Then let's go on to almost the big, well, these are big boys too, but it's not the main event, but it's almost the main event. It's the 212. And here I think we should do the top 5, huh? And not just top 3. And we do one person who might shock everyone. And no, top 5 and one to look out for outside the top 5 who might do some real damage. We'll start with you, Faisal.
I was just gonna go back to my referencing. Outside from, I remember the Spanish guy who actually won the British Grand Prix.
Calderon.
I think this guy is not only gonna crack the top 5. I think he's gonna do a lot more than we think. The guy carries muscle over muscle, and his conditioning is so consistent. And I think this guy is definitely a guy to look out for.
Most overlooked bodybuilder at the Olympia last year. Can we agree? In 212?
Yeah, Calderon last year, yeah.
Yeah, it was overlooked. He got 10th. Should have been way higher. But anyway, yeah.
Oh, he got... They didn't look at him. I don't understand why. And I was there.
Didn't even give him a kiss.
It's just horrible. Nope. So you have Angel in your top 5, please. Continue.
Top 5? It's. I don't have a top 5. I'm probably top 3.
Okay, your top 3 then.
I think Kamal will also. He will do it again. I think Derek Lonsford will definitely come in better condition. I think last year was a bit of a mess up somehow because he was looking good in the prejudging and then he just came back a bit softer in the evening show.
Actually, there was the other way around. He was looking softer in prejudging. He got better in the finals.
So that's probably I don't actually. Is it that way? I think
wasn't
so.
it?
Yeah.
Yes, it was. Yeah.
He was a mess in prejudge.
Exactly. He shouldn't have even been in the top 5 in prejudging.
Okay. Okay. Let's go. Okay. So come on. We're gonna get to that. Okay. So you have Lonsford and you have Kamal Lonsford.
Who else have I got? And third, I've got actually the guy from Spain. The same guy from Spain, Angel Calderon. I think he's going for third actually.
Wow. Yeah. You like his physique? What do you like about his physique that much?
His muscularity. I think for him to stay at a 212 weight, carrying this much muscle, that's actually hard work, man. And he needs to come in that kind of condition for him to be able to stay in that division.
I just have had a lot of bad experiences with guys who can't speak English at the O. You know what I mean? And sometimes they don't get that look. But anyway, Nigel. No, let's start Greg first because Nigel's going to go on. We can do Nigel after Greg. Greg, who is in your top 5 and who's the one to look out for? Outside top 5.
Okay. Outside top 5. Watch out for Ahmad Ashkanani. Watch out for him. This guy might come back. We saw pictures. He might come back.
But he was way over 212.
As a top 5, you know what? I'm going to go out of the limb. I'm going to be biased, and I don't care. I got George winning. I got George winning.
Winning.
I know. Somebody has to take a bullet. I'll take the bullet for him. George is winning.
Winning.
Okay, yeah. You have to be,
Yeah.
I got Kamal second.
Oh, wow.
I got Clarita in third.
You got Clarita in third?
In third. He's gonna, and I got Lonsford in fourth. And Calderon 5.
Hey, here's some soap to wash your mouth. What do you mean in fourth?
Yeah.
Fourth?
Fine. Oh, yeah.
Oh, no. Okay, Michael Bryson.
I'll tell you why.
Okay.
I'll tell you why. Lonsford needs to be an open guy.
Exactly.
He needs to be an open guy. He needs to be that.
Who's the one to look out for?
You know what? To look out for, like I said, I need to look out for. You know what? Even look out for that John Jewett.
Oh.
Last year was good.
Last year was weird.
Watch out for this guy.
Michael Bryson.
John Jewett in the open.
John.
Nigel, yeah.
Okay, let's do Michael Bryson first, then we can do Nigel. No?
Okay.
Okay,
Well, in 1973 at the Belmont Stakes, Secretariat ran I don't know how many lengths ahead of everybody else and blew everyone away. And George Peterson is going to do that at this year's 212 Olympia.
Yeah.
It's not going to be close.
Thank you.
Whoa. It's not going to get close.
I like the confidence.
The battle's going to be for second.
Okay.
And in second, it could be one of three people. Kamal, Sean Clarita, or Derek Lunsford. Those three guys are going to be 2, 3, 4.
Okay.
If Derek Lunsford comes in shredded for once, which we've never really seen, although he's been placed second twice and fifth in his first Olympia, though we've never really seen him shredded like the other guys. If he does come in shredded, he will be George's closest rival. I also think Angel could also surprise people and be, I guess, not really that much of a surprise, but he could do very, very well. Two people who I think could shock are John Jewett and Guy Cisternino.
Okay. Nigel?
So I'm not going to jump on the Derek Lunsford train because he's never been in condition, and that 5th place in his first Olympia was a gift. So I've got Camille winning. I've got Angel, Sean Clarita in 3rd. I do have George Peterson in 4th. I've got Ashkenazi in
He's not
5th.
Jewish.
And I've got Derek. I'm sorry, in 5th, and then I've got Derek rounding it out.
You got what?
So I've got Camille, Angel, Sean, George, Ahmad Ashkenazi, and Derek.
Okay. Is there anyone to look out for out of that top 5? Okay, you said Derek is the one to look out for out of the top 5. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, but I would say that somebody that's lurking around is Vlad. I think Vlad looks really good. So I'm kind of looking forward to seeing that kid's physique.
I'm not sure. Vlad. Who's that?
Vlad
Kiriak, whatever his name is.
Oh.
A Romanian guy.
Oh, yeah. Griffin?
Earlier I picked Lonsford, and that's just going on like my Cedric hopes. Like I always pick Cedric. Like Lunsford,
he's the Cedric of 212.
He is. Lunsford isn't going to come in shape. He's an open bodybuilder. He's going to suck down to make 212, and then he's going to eat burgers and tasty cakes and look like a bad. Serious. So I've got Kamal, Clarita, Lunsford, Angel, and George. George is great, but George is the flip side of Bumstead. He's too tall to be 212.
I agree with you.
I agree that too, 100%.
Yeah.
He's 5'8", and there's going to be a bunch of 5'5" guys.
I think George is going to change the shape of 212.
Exactly.
But you can't change the height of 212, and that's the same problem I have with John Jewett. I think John is great, except I also think that John is too tall for the class, and I think that both him and George go ahead and consider being in the open because I think they would fare much better there.
Greg? What do you want to say, Greg, before we go to Cox?
No, you know what you guys were saying? I don't think George is too tall for 212. What happened is 212 got short. Because basically all these guys are 5'4" and 5'5". They're short guys. And the thing is, George has a different look than all these guys. He's 5'8", but you know the way he's made? Because we saw in Tampa, he destroyed Tampa, you know? So now, of course, he's going against a different field of people. And I do believe with his look, he's the one that can match up with everybody. And we know that, one thing we know, shows are run from the back, and nobody's going to touch it from the back.
So George, what I'm trying to figure out is,
if it's one from the back, why did Bumstead win then?
Yeah, exactly. And the other thing is, you just made my case about Classic on the flip side. So you're basically saying Classic needs to be taller, and 212 needs to go, be a little taller as well. I mean, 212. I don't get your logic with that.
Okay, I'll tell you my logic with it. Okay, basically, you know what? It's how you look on stage. A guy that's a little taller, okay, basically when you go on stage and look at these guys, okay, a little taller guy, your eyes will be attracted to him. That's normal.
He might look stringy
And
too.
the way George is made, George, you know what? George's problem was that when he was in classic, okay, they told him, "Oh my God, you're too bodybuilder-like." Now it's gonna be in 212. He's big, but you know what? In the 212, it will look classic because all these guys are short. So in the end, what happens? Bodybuilding is about structure, okay? And they need someone like that because remember, all the 212 guys are short guys. So if you look great, but you're different, they're going to go for different. That's for sure.
Michael,
So nothing's gonna work for sure.
Cox, let's get Cox predictions for. You can go, Nigel. You can go back to that. Let's just Cox get his prediction. Who's in your top 5 and who to look out for?
Top 5. Kamal, he's got old man muscle. He's shredded. He can't beat old man muscle. Second, George Peterson. George won Tampa at the weigh-in. Now, going against Bo Lewis and Derek Osmond isn't Derek Lonsford and Kamal, but George is a freak.
Good point.
I didn't drink the George Kool-Aid until I saw him in Tampa, and I was drinking that like Jim Jones gave it to me. Okay, first place, you got Derek Lonsford. When Lonsford walked into Tampa, I texted Chris and said, "Derek Lonsford looks like he ate Derek Lonsford." He showed me his leg at 230. He had striations. He is an open bodybuilder, and I think next year we'll see him going to open because he's got the shape. He just can't suck down. You know what I mean? It's like Flex Lewis. You lose something when you got to suck down. Okay. Fourth, I have Clarita. He gets better every single year. When I go train legs, I'll put a Sean Clarita video on. The dude gets better every year, and he gets bigger. All right. Fifth, David Henry. Don't forget, this guy plays top 10 in the Open Mr. Olympia. He's an OG. He's got mature muscle. He's around. If he's 100%, he can knock all these dudes out. He's still that good. Outside the top 5, don't forget Bo Lewis. Bo's a big boy. And also, I would say, if Ashkenani could ever get separation in his legs, he would be placed in top 2. He is maxed out. He was 212 last year. You know what I mean? So he's got a lot of muscle, but he lacks that detail to go against a George Peterson or a Kamal or some of those other guys. He'll out-muscle him, but he doesn't have that fine detail. You know what I mean? Listen, George is he's a hybrid. We've never seen a guy that, that's tall in the open class, but it makes it work. He wasn't even 100% in Tampa, and he still won that show. He said he had a little bit of I think he was 211, 210 right there, but he didn't get it all together. He said they're going all out for Tampa for the Olympia. If he won, I wouldn't be shocked. But Kamal's gonna be hard to beat, man. Yes. Like Kamal was been here forever, and he's got that '90s type of crispness to him. That detail those guys got back there, like we see on the European tour, right? That's how Kamal looks. He's not as bubbly as Lunsford or as bubbly as a David Henry, but don't forget he's the defending champion.
So right,
and he's not gonna be out of shape. You know what I mean? So it's a wrap.
Okay, so this panel has who has Kamal winning here?
100%.
Okay, and Greg and Michael, you have George the Bull winning, correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, and no one of you have Lonsford winning?
No.
And the person to look out, not even to look out for anymore because everyone knows him, but Angel Calderon, it's his time now, correct, guys? To get a better look than last year's disaster of a place.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
He
Exciting.
reminds me of Jose Raymond.
Yeah.
I think he looks better than Jose, especially when he does that front relax. His front relax looks like rollies. I mean, it is beautiful the way he comes out of that thing. That is just shocking.
He's just dense and freaky and just the shit that you love about bodybuilding, you know?
Oh, definitely.
Griffin, one thing. Griffin, you're friends with Jose. Who looks better, Jose in his prime or Angel? Let me see if you're a Judas now.
Jose had way better wheels.
Yeah.
Jose's he's a Mount Rushmore of 212.
I know, Nigel. What are you talking about? You're disrespecting Jose over there.
Staying in that front pose, front relax.
Okay.
I think that he does look better than Jose in that front relax.
Hey,
Jose? All the respect in the world for Jose. Jose he's to another short guy. He's the man.
In
So-
my, I have only two guys on my mind, and it's Derek Lunsford versus Kamal. This is it. This is going to be
The
it.
return.
This is going to be
Not
it.
it.
You know, this is it for those guys now. You know, and what I want to say is that, have any one of you ever seen a guy at age 50 improve like Kamal has doing? Have everyone seen it before in your life?
Only Dexter.
Dexter. Only Dexter.
There's two vampires in
maybe-
bodybuilding.
And maybe back in the day, Albert Beckles back in the
Albert
day.
Beckles,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
So it's incredible.
Albert Beck was what? The Niagara Pro at 51?
Yeah,
1991.
51. Yeah, exactly. In 1990. Yeah, true. Exactly. Niagara Falls.
This is incredible. When Flex Lewis left the class, some people and Jose Royman retired. Some people were worried about the class, but can we agree that it's actually even almost got better?
Yeah. Very
Yeah, I think there's been a rebirth for sure.
What do you think?
I think Michael just reworded it brilliantly. It's a rebirth. It's I wouldn't say it's better or worse, but it's a rebirth. We're having a lot of new guys coming up, and even though Kamal is 50, I still think there are new guys coming up, and it's looking great, man. I would agree with the guys, about George the Bull, being a different look for the 212. I just think with that height, he would look a little bit stringy comparing to the other guys being a little bit shorter and more dense. But definitely the class is looking amazing.
It's an exciting class, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And they should, if the Arnold committee is listening, bring back the 212 to Arnold.
That's a complete. I don't even know if I can talk without politics. I would say something real bad. But can you believe they took away the 212, guys?
No,
Unreal.
that is one
I
of
couldn't
the
believe
reasons
it.
why I went to the Arnold every year was to see the 212 division.
You
And they took it away.
Nah, well, you didn't even want to go there to see the Open, really.
Well, it depends on who was in the Open, but if everybody remembers correctly, for 3 years there was not really the Open wasn't the big ticket. It was pretty much 212. I mean, so to me, the 212 ticket was better for the last 3 years before they took out the 212.
But it's the Arnold Classic, though. It's the Arnold.
And they don't have the 212.
Arnold led champions Olympia,
It's just.
I'm sorry.
Are you saying William Bonac is not big enough?
I'm sorry.
Are you saying William Bonac isn't big enough?
This was before. I mean, I'm not talking about the last couple of years. I'm talking about before they took 212 out. They've taken 212 out for the last 2 years.
2 years.
Yes.
So if you go back though and you look at the competitors for the last couple of years before that, the Arnold was getting lackluster. A lot of people were not taking the Arnold invitations, and that was a problem in the Open. In fact, the big Open, the one that the Arnold is remembered for before that is, of course, when Kai Green won it the last time. And then after that, the Open kind of, went a little bit sideways, and then people were coming in for the 212. That's why people are wondering why they took out the 212. The 212 attendance was great.
One question about that. What's the most disrespectful thing Arnold did at the Arnold? Was it to say that Kai Green beat Cedric because of his posing? Or was it when he asked if Janet Leo trained with weights when he gave the award for the bikini? What's most disrespectful to ask? What do you guys think?
I would think the second, because he was right about Kai. Kai won because of the posing. I was there.
Can you imagine him saying, "Do you train with weights?" But anyway, great class 212. Before we talk to the big boys, the Open.
Oh yeah.
Let's just go quick. So if one person doesn't follow this class, they just say pass. Okay. So give me who you think is going to be in the top two. Men's physique. Nigel.
Pass.
Griffin.
Andre and Kaiki.
Cox.
Wow.
Andre and George Brown.
Interesting. Michael Bryson.
I would say Raymond and Andre.
Nigel. Greg.
Raymond and Andre.
Faisal.
A big pass, sorry.
I got the amazing Kaiki, and I got Andre Deu taking it all. Well, I'm not sure taking it all, but in top two. Men's physique is the biggest class in the world. You don't follow it, bro.
In what sense do you think it's bigger?
Nigel, you don't follow it.
No.
Anyway, bikini, Nigel.
I'm going to pass on that.
Chris.
Jennifer Dory.
And
then Sean Roden's girlfriend.
Lori Chapados.
Yeah, Laura.
Cox.
I should.
Janet, Attila, and Jennifer Dory. But Janet. Just Janet.
I think we lost. Did we lost Nigel or?
Yeah.
Okay. Michael.
I think the reigning champ is going to kill it. She's genetically crazy. What's her name?
Isa Piccini.
Yeah, I think she's just phenomenal. Like that tiny waist. I think she's the champ as long as she stays looking like she did last year when she won. And then, it could be anyone. It could be Janet. Attila, they seem to like her a lot.
I know. They love her hair.
Everybody?
They love the hair.
Yeah. Yeah, she's gorgeous. I mean, but
Yeah.
physique-wise, I don't know if she's there yet, but she might be anyway. By the judges.
That's a nice political way to say it. Greg?
Yeah, I got Laura Lee. And the reigning champ, yeah, true. But Laura Lee looks good. She looks very good.
Yeah, I have
Very good,
I have
yeah.
Laura Lee and Isa Piccini and
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Jennifer Dory, those three. But I only asked
Jennifer Dory's great too. Yeah.
before can Nigel come back in if he wants to? He doesn't have to. Okay. Then we have figure. Then are you with us, Nigel? You going? Where you going?
Yeah, so I do know.
No. Okay.
Wait a minute.
Figure,
No,
Nigel. You're top two.
I'm going to pass on figure as well.
Greg.
I got Cindy again. Oh, bro, I got Cindy and Latoya again. That top three, Cindy, Latoya, and Nadia, you don't touch that. It's too genetically gifted. They're too great.
Cox.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be sick. Yeah.
Listen, I got Jessica Padilla winning this year.
Yeah, there you go. Finalism.
Then Cindy, then Latoya. Jessica has everything you want in figure. Wide shoulders, small waist. And when she walks out,
Yeah. It's game over. The catwalk.
That walk, bro, is insane.
Yeah. Chris.
I'm going with Troya, Cindy, and Nadia.
Michael.
It's going to be, I think, again between Sid and Latoya. They're just amazing. I don't know which one will win. Probably Sid, just because she's been winning. And Jessica, I want to say Jessica in third. She kind of shocked me that they didn't place her better at the Arnold than they did. I forget where she placed.
That was an insult. I know.
Yeah, to me, she's phenomenal. And like you said, when she comes out there, she looks like a superhero. She's got amazing physique.
Faisal?
Her walk-on is the best move in sports.
I agree.
By far.
Faisal?
I watch it, but I actually don't follow who's winning and who's. I remember Latoya. I think.
Which look do you prefer, figure or physique? If you have to choose.
Figure or physique?
Women's
Actually,
physique, yeah.
I actually don't. I like the fitness girls more.
Okay. Then we could do women's bodybuilding. Okay, so women's bodybuilding. Your top two, Chris. Chris, your top two, women's bodybuilding.
God, why am I forgetting her name?
You smoking that shit before the show or what? He lost him there now. Did we lose him? We lost everyone. No? Did we?
Yeah.
Chris?
Yep.
Top two?
Oh, God, what's her name? Cox.
No, Cox, stop it. Cox, no. He has to say it himself. He can't ask you to tell him what he thinks. Griffin. Griffin, your top two.
I'm not going to describe her.
Michael Bryson, your top
nice.
two. Michael Bryson, your top two.
I think top two. I think they're kind of going in a certain direction with women's bodybuilding now, and I think that the Rising Phoenix champion Andrea Shaw will be the new Miss Olympia. And in second, I think Ellie Trevino is just too hard to deny. She comes in incredible shape. She's complete muscular. You know, her musculature is complete. I think that's the top two.
Cox?
Iris Kyle.
Thank you.
It's a wrap. Then we'll have Helly in third, but don't sleep on Monique Jones.
Who did you have second? Because you said Helle in third.
Helly Trevino.
In second. So you have Helle, but you have Iris winning. Greg?
Iris is awesome, bro.
You know what? I got, as Michael said, female body is taking a good direction. And because, as you know, AJ, we saw what happened at Rising Phoenix.
Did we ever?
So if they go toward that line, we have to go Andrea and maybe Margie.
And Nigel?
I'm going to go with Margie and Monique.
Faisal?
I wanted to answer one little thing here. I think the Rising Phoenix win was a little bit too politic for me, looking at how Helle Trevino looked like, and even Alicia. The amount of muscularity was unbelievable, and that's women's bodybuilding, guys. We can't look at it from a pretty only point of view. We need to look at muscularity as well. But my top two will definitely be Helle Trevino, then Andrea Shaw. But I'm very, very happy to see Iris Kyle back, 100%.
So women's bodybuilding, guys. I have my own women's bodybuilding channel, female bodybuilding channel. So it's something I follow very, very closely. It's finally they're back for a lot of us. It's been tough, but they're back. It doesn't matter. It was a disgrace what they did, but it is what it is. But they're back now. Rising Phoenix to me doesn't let me know yet what we will see, because those judges are not judging the Olympia. The judges that judged the Rising were two bikini girls and two X-figure or fitness competitors. They might have a different outtake of what women's bodybuilding really is. I don't know. Not saying it's wrong or right, but I'm not sure if the Rising Phoenix can dictate what's going to happen at the O. Helle Trevino, I interviewed her right before you guys came on, actually, and she said that she didn't look her absolutely best. She said that she wanted it too much. She did 4 hours of cardio. She did 4 hours of cardio and 2 hours of weight training every day. She said she maybe got a little bit burned out, and she was posting also every day. So I think she wanted it too much, she said. So she might look a little bit tired. I don't know. Obviously, we don't know. I'm really excited to see Margie, because she was supposed to compete this year, but then her show got canceled. Monique is just crazy looking. Let's see if the upper-lower body can be... let's see if it's enough to win it. But Andrea Shaw, beautiful. If they want... I just hope a bodybuilding event. For me personally, I don't want that... let's see what's marketable. No, I want to see who's best. You know,
we want to see muscles,
man. I want a freak to win.
That's what I mean. Show. It's women's bodybuilding.
Bodybuilding is about muscle. It's a muscle show.
Yeah, but Mike, remember one thing. Now that they brought back the Olympia, the reason why women bodybuilding got out of it is because girls were getting too freakier. So that's what they took it out. So now, bro, if you're looking at it from a... Because I know, I don't like to say that, from a marketing standpoint, okay, we need to have a Miss Olympia that women will go, you know what, I want to look like that. It's different. You have to just, because I'm like you, I like freaks. But if they keep getting freaks in, people are gonna pay to see it.
But we can argue this with bodybuilding too, because Ronnie,
like women's physique, they're freaks, man. Like, I get it.
No,
but you gotta have muscle. There's no magazines anymore. Everybody does their own marketing. This is a niche sport. Always has been. Always will be. Will never be on ESPN again. Will never be on NBC.
I agree with you, Cox. It's never going to get pop. It doesn't matter how. But anyway, we only have 30 minutes left, so we got to do the open. Just one last thing, and don't go too long with it. Who's your fitness winner, Chris? Who's your fitness winner? Missy. Who's your fitness winner, Cox?
Missy.
Who's your fitness winner, Michael?
Missy.
Who's your fitness winner, Nigel?
Missy.
Who's your fitness winner, Greg?
Missy all the way.
Hey, what's up, AJ?
So, Missy, we're approaching the big date, aren't we? How is that? How are you going through? Now? First of all, let's go quick to Arnold Classic. That was a nice win, wasn't it?
Oh my God, it was so epic. The trophy's actually back there.
Is that one on top there, huh?
It is, yeah, the glass one.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, such a crazy experience. I'm so beyond blessed that the event actually went on because of COVID and everything happening. So yeah, all around 2020 has been a really good year for me.
It's been really good for you, hasn't it?
Yeah.
So
totally.
First, before we brag what's been going on your Instagram, this, guys, is going to be a special. Where should I look, Chris? Should I look there? Should I look at her? I should look at her. This Fitness Olympia is going to be the greatest Fitness Olympia we have ever seen. We got Oksana Grishina, the queen of fitness, or whatever you want to call her. She's coming back after how long she's been away?
3 years.
3 years?
3 years.
We have the champ, Whitney Jones, and we have the crowd favorite, Missy Truscott, coming straight out of an Arnold Classic win. And we have some other great competitors there too as well. But those, Adela Garcia, sadly, did she give an excuse for why, or did you get that excuse? What was the reasoning she dropped out?
I saw an interview that she did with NPC News Online, and she had said that her bicep or shoulder or something was hurting her, so she had to withdraw from the competition, which is unfortunate, because Adela is a legend, and it would have been an amazing opportunity to stand beside her and compete against her. All the fitness athletes this year are bringing it, so it's going to be a tough competition whether she's there or not. So yeah, I wish her speedy recovery, and I hope that she can get back on stage very soon.
Me too. I did not see her necessarily being in the fight to win, though. So it would be a more of a... It's really Whitney Jones, you, and Oksana that I was looking for the victory. So for me, this doesn't diminish the excitement of this class, because it's you three girls that are... Especially you are in your prime right now. We don't know about the other girls, but you are peaking right now, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, you are. We've seen a change. Tell us a little bit. The last 2 months, we just see a different attitude from you. Walk us through it. What's going on?
Well, at the end of the day, as a fitness competitor or a bodybuilder, whatever division you're in, you have to do it because you love it, right? You got to love the suffering. You got to love the grind, the diet, how your body changed. Because if you don't love it, then why are you doing it? So, this whole prep, my focus has been just really like every day empty the tank. Like Matt and I talk about it. And from when I wake up in the morning till the end of the night, I'm just focused on the Olympia and just totally emptying that tank, whether it's through training, cardio, fitness, food prep, everything. It's just leaving it all on the table for the Olympia. So I'm giving it my everything.
How old were you when you started dreaming about winning the Olympia title?
Sorry, say that again.
When did you start dreaming about the Olympia title, like in your life? Is this been going on for years? Is this just now, or when? How long have you been dreaming of this title?
Probably since I've been in high school. I remember seeing Kai Green. I think it was 2009. He won the Arnold Classic, or 2011. I can't remember.
2009 and 10.
Okay, yeah. And I remember watching that online and thinking to myself, like, holy, like, I want to do something like this. And then eventually it started to just progress. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to compete. I want to do the Olympia. I want to win the Olympia title. And it's been a goal and a dream of mine for a really long time. And I'm ready for it. I'm bringing my best. So
because
I'm excited.
We see you give more to the fans now. It's Instagram updates every day. YouTube channel is always something new. You're starting hitting a lot of physique shots that we love. But have you seen how your Instagram is growing and now that you're hitting physique shots? Yes or no?
Yeah. I guess the fans, the followers, my friends, they all love to see my body changing, and I do too. So, it's cool to hit some like bodybuilding poses or physique shots because I know people enjoy it. But yeah.
So you were in Las Vegas to look at the old venue. I think it was it in the summer?
Yeah.
Now they moved it to Orlando. Any thoughts about that? Are you still as excited? How is that moving to Orlando? It's the same feel for you, isn't it? It doesn't matter where it is it?
Yeah, ultimately it doesn't matter where it is for me. I'm just excited that the show is actually happening. So big thanks to Dan Solomon, Jake Wood, all of the Olympia team for giving us the platform to compete this year. It's going to be a great show. The thing for me with Orlando is the time change. So I'm on a 3-hour time change, being from the West Coast. So my husband and I are getting there a little bit early just so I can adjust and settle to the time change. Also, the climate is a little different. It's very humid in Orlando. And it's not as humid. And I guess here in Seattle, it's more, rainy and a little chillier. So I just want to make sure my body is going to adjust, and I'm just dotting all my I's and crossing all my T's.
But this is Friday you're going on, correct?
We leave on Saturday.
The show, the fitness class, is it Friday or Saturday?
Oh, yes. The fitness is on Friday.
Man, so we're going to have... we're going to be know by this Friday, yeah? Next Friday, it is. If you're taking home the Olympia. Can you imagine you're one of the favorites now? Last year, you were... people talked about you not as much. They did. But this year, you can tell by the crowd. You can tell by the amounts of DMs, can't you? It's changed, hasn't it?
Yeah, at the end of the day, I'm just giving it my all and working my tail off. So I know that I'm going to be bringing my best physique and my best routine. And then ultimately it's where the judges are going to place us on Friday night. So I know I'm bringing my best, and I hope all the other girls do too, because we're going to put on a freaking epic show in Orlando.
It's going to be an epic show. I can feel it. It's going to be, after this year, it's been what can we say? It's been a hard year for people worldwide. But we're so happy, Missy, that you're part of some of the athletes that really is going to give us a Christmas to remember. A December to remember is my slogan. We are.
Love it.
Yeah, we're going to see... You have to understand, bodybuilding, it's the Olympia means a lot to us, And to have it at Christmas after... We just got news now that our gyms in Norway, they're not opening again. It's a wrap. So we got nothing. It's just been a horrible year for fitness and bodybuilding. So this Olympia in Christmas, it's going to be a special one, Missy. And we want to thank and we want to thank you as one of the big stars, because you make it more special for us, because we of course we love every athlete that competes, but you're one of the stars now, Missy.
Yeah. No, I appreciate the support, and I'm really excited, and I hope that, obviously you guys are going to watch the pay-per-view, because you probably won't be coming
no one
with the travel restrictions.
Sadly.
But
it's going to be...
I'm really looking forward to it.
I really hope, I'm going to be biased. I'm going to be really biased. I really hope you win. As you know, we are on your husband, Matt, and myself are constantly DMing. We're not going to say what we're DMing because we got to protect our image, but it's going it's going to get crazy. And good luck, Missy. We can't wait to see you. We're really excited for this Fitness Olympia, and good luck, Missy.
Thank you, AJ. Appreciate the support and all the hype you put behind the IFBB fitness division. We appreciate it, and we need more eyes on our division to just get it known, more recognition. So thank you so much.
And this is one of the, well, every division is tough, but this is a special division, you know. It's one of the original divisions, you know, and there's a reason for it, you know. Take us out with a hardcore women's bodybuilding post, Missy. I know you can do it. Take us with some proper bodybuilding. So that's the front double from Missy. You're going to see her on Friday. Pay-per-view. It's going to be worth every penny. And Missy, we are out. Goodbye. Who's your fitness winner, Chris? Who's your fitness winner?
Missy.
Missy?
Missy.
Who's your fitness winner, Cox?
Missy.
Who's your fitness winner, Michael?
Missy.
Who's your fitness winner, Nigel?
Missy.
Who's your fitness winner, Greg?
Missy all the way.
Who's your fitness winner?
Oksana Grishina.
Listen.
Oksana, it's great.
Yeah. And as Matt, Missy's boyfriend, all paid you now or what? They didn't get that. Since they all said Missy.
What?
No. I asked if Matt, that's Missy's husband, if he's paid all you. The way you said,
No.
Missy. Yeah.
AJ,
Yeah.
Cox and I told you about Missy 2 years ago.
I know. And,
Sure did.
And I don't like when other people act like they discovered her. You know what I mean. But anyway.
Yeah, that pisses me off.
Yeah. Anyway, open class. We got 30 minutes. And guys, this is what the Joe
Showdown.
Weider's Olympia is all about, isn't it, guys?
Showdown.
Like, I remember as a kid, we all, when we started to train, when we didn't dream of becoming the classic champ or God knows what. We dreamt about holding that Sandow, you know, and having Joe Weider raise our wrist as the champ. Could you imagine that? Oh yeah. Well, that's not gonna happen for any of us. Well, you're still open. No, Cox, maybe. Cox, you might. Nigel, no, that's not gonna work now. What about you?
What's the question? Sorry, I
Can
can.
you still win the open Sandow?
Now?
Yeah. No. I mean, well,
No way. Now?
there you go. Michael, you giving up on it or?
I gave up on it long ago.
Okay. Let's go and we gotta do half an hour. So give me your top 8 and start from 8 and let's go, Greg.
Okay, from 8 to first. Okay. 8th place, I got an 8. You know what? 8, I got Kim Williams at 8.
Good
I
choice.
got Hunter 7th.
Good choice.
Okay. I got I got Rulli in 6.
Okay.
I got Dexter in 5. I got Rami in 4th. I'm gonna go out on a limb. I got Brendan 3rd.
Hey, stop it. Okay.
After the pictures I've seen, I got him 3rd.
You did not like that. You did not like that new video, did you? Or
Okay. Bonac 2nd, and we know who's first. Phil is first.
so you have, just
And I
to make
forgot
it
Ronnie.
clear, you have Bonac beating Brandon. Why is that?
You know what? They were close. These two guys are pretty close. And as you're going to see, it's closer between Bonac and Curry than Curry and Phil. It's way closer. Okay? Bonac has a better chance of passing Curry than Curry has a chance of passing Phil. So within that logic, you know what? Brendan can be 2nd for sure. For sure. But it's not, people are sleeping on William. People are sleeping on him because nobody talks about him like nobody talked about him the whole prep. And William can take out Brandon, only if William can come in 100%, and if Brandon misses a bit, William can pass him.
If you have Phil winning, so if Phil is winning,
Phil is winning.
How would you rate him against the career? Well, you can't even. How would you rate his legacy compared to Lee Haney and Ronnie then if he wins this one and retires?
His legacy. Okay, you know what? To me, if Phil wins, which I think he will, it will be the greatest victory. Why? Because he's winning in an era that is pretty hard to do now. You have to come back, because after a year, to come back into a field of guys that are into a field, let's be honest, we are lucky to have a field that we have this year, because when the year came, when everything came out, COVID and everything, we didn't think we'd have an Olympia like that. And Phil is going into a very competitive Olympia. Very competitive. I mean, people are putting Phil winning easy, which is true. But remember, they're going to look at Phil so much. Phil is going to have to fight for that title. They're not going to give it to him like that. Because remember, Phil, that's for sure.
As we go, because I'm going to ask you some questions while you go, just to hear. So one last thing. If Heath's waist is not fixed, is it still good enough to beat those other guys? Even with the Phil Heath was injured, guys. He was hurt. He's healed now. But even if he wasn't, is it still enough to beat the other lineup? Greg?
You know what? What you guys are going to probably agree with me on that. When he lost against Sean, he didn't lose against Sean because he wasn't better. He got punished.
Exactly.
Because he got punished. Because the year before they told him, fix your stomach. The year after he didn't do it, he got punished. So I'm not taking any away against Roden. But to me, Phil never lost the Olympia. They just take it away from him.
Chris, I agree. Chris, before you start, Greg, let the record show he had Phil, Bonac, and Curry. Chris, what about you?
Okay, number 8. I have number 7.
Who was
I
8th?
have
We couldn't get your 8th place. You went out. Who do you have in 8th?
Hunter.
Okay.
Number 7, I have Justin.
Wow, that's high. Justin Rodriguez. Great.
Yeah, he's peeled.
Yeah.
He's just peeled. He's the best of the next tier. You know, he's the top of the second tier right now. That's how I feel. And 6th, Ramy.
Yeah.
5th, Rolly. 4th, Dex. 3rd, Bonac. Bonac's very good. 2nd, Curry. And Phil. Phil winning.
Do you see any chance of Brandon beating Phil, yes or no?
I didn't want to bring this up, but...
Who went out of the screen now? Someone went out?
Greg went
Cox.
out.
I couldn't hear you, Griffin. What did you say? Can Brandon beat Phil?
No. He's, from everything that we've seen, he's not lean enough. Granted, he'll look different when he's carved up and drops water. But it seems like Abdullah is trying to save his legs, because the first thing that goes is the last muscle you put on your body. And if Brandon isn't skinless, he's not going to beat Phil. I mean, the only way Phil loses if he comes out and he huffs and puffs like he did in 18 and gets gassed.
Michael Cox, from 8th to 1st.
Okay, 8th I got Hunter. 7th place I have Rolly. 6th, Rami. 5th, Dexter. 4th, Bonac. If Hottie's in, Hottie will be 3rd. Brandon 2nd. Phil, it's done, son. He's not getting on that stage if he's not in shape and if his stomach's not fixed. Hottie wouldn't do it. Phil wouldn't do it. He's got his legacy. This is number 8, bro. Haney and Ronnie. He's trying to reach rare air, right? So he knows when he walks out on Friday night, first thing we look at is his abs. But you also realize he didn't stop training. He took some time off to heal, but he started training again. And he didn't, like I said, he didn't lose. Roden didn't beat him. Phil wasn't fat at 18. He just couldn't control his stomach. His glutes were ripped. His hands were peeled. When Phil's on, he's the best bodybuilder in the world. When Phil left, everybody was like, oh, my God, we miss Phil. Before he left, he was a piece of crap. Nobody liked him. True. Appreciate what you're watching. You guys, we're witnessing history, right? We won't live long enough to see another guy do 8 Olympias. We're old men. It ain't happening with us. That won't happen ever again, probably.
Hey, okay, stop it. Stop. I'm 35. I'm not as old as you. You're ruining all the girls that watching the show thinking we're old guys. Stop it. But anyway, who would win, Cox? Okay, first of all, what's Phil Heath's best package you've seen on Olympia stage, in your opinion?
The 2011 was one of those physiques that, remember how like we got Flex in 93, Ronnie in 98? That physique in 2011 should be mentioned with those same physiques. It was that good. It was perfect.
Who would have won? Ronnie, Coleman, Cox, 2003 versus Phil Heath with modern days judging. Who would have won?
Oh, that's a hard one.
I know. That's why I'm asking you, Cox.
Ronnie is not on this earth.
I'm asking you a question.
Ronnie.
Yeah. What? Who do you have? Ronnie Coleman 2003 or Phil Heath 2011? Who would have won?
Oh, dude, Ronnie in 2003 would have ate Phil Heath in 2011. that 2000. Listen though, Ronnie's best look, in my opinion, was a 2001 Arnold. That was his best look, in my opinion. It was insane. He was full. He was shredded. I was at that show. He didn't even need a call out. He had one call out, and he didn't even need that. He was that much better. But Ronnie's.
What year? What year was that again?
2001 Arnold.
That's when he came a little bit worse for the Olympia because he did 2 shows, correct?
Yeah, right. He came in worse because he couldn't peak twice. You know what I mean? But listen, we like to compare generations, but Phil belongs in that category with one of the best of all time. Yes. He won 7 Olympias, man. Like, granted, he probably should have won 1 or 2, but that every multiple Olympia champion has 1 or 2 years where they get gifts. No pun intended.
Before we do Mike,
that's how the sport works, man.
Before Michael, Faisal, your top 8 from 8th and down?
I've got 8th, Hunter. 7th, who do I have? Well, I think is when Hadi's not in or he's in. I'm not sure what's going on.
Is Hadi in, yes or no, guys?
Hadi is in. Hadi, they say Hadi is in. So I would assume that he is in.
Ron Harris said it wasn't looking good today.
Well, he's in a country that's really good that he should be in, Chris. I mean, and they're saying that he should be in. So I would say that go with Heidi.
Okay, let's say Heidi's in.
Oh, that's gonna be.
Before I go word, has any of the Greg, Chris, and Cox? Did you do that list you did with Hardy in or out?
Out. In.
Wait, Cox, you don't have Hardy in the top 8 and you have him in the show?
No, I didn't have him in the show.
Okay, did you have him in the show, Cox?
Yeah, I had him in the show. Now, I'm not sure if he's not, but my prediction was if he was in, yes.
Okay. So you don't have Hardy Chupan if he's in the Olympia making the top 8?
Yeah, he did.
I was third. Did it. I did.
You haven't.
I didn't. But if Hardy's in the show, he's 3rd. Bonak's 4th.
Okay.
See, now we're agreeing. All of us.
Okay, so Hardy's in. Okay.
8th, Hunter. 7th, Akeem Williams. 6th, believe it or not, I have Dexter. 5th. This one's gonna be a hard one. See, from that point, it's really hard to predict because it could go anywhere. I don't know who's gonna be in 4th place. In 5th place, to be honest with you, I can't really pick him out. But from 4 upwards, it'll be Bonak.
4th, William Bonak. You have?
Yes,
yeah.
I have Hadi 3rd. 2nd, Brandon Curry. 1st, Phil Heath.
So you don't see Brandon having a chance against Phil, or
You know what? I think Mike actually briefed it really, really well. It's very difficult to knock a 7-time Mr. Olympia when we've seen how he looked last year comparing to Phil. With all due respect, Brandon Curry is an amazing athlete, but standing next to the best of all time, one of the best of all time, it's going to be a different ballgame. Look, matching the physiques, just put them next to each other start from toe upwards. You're just going to look at it and think, you know what? The total package of what Phil brings is just completely. I'm one of the guys who actually wrote a little message to Phil to apologize to him.
Really?
Yeah, because I hated the guy so much, when he was against Kai and Jay before, and I actually apologized to him for when he lost, and I wanted him back. Seeing what the quality, we got blinded. We were blind. We were like, oh, Phil again. We want Kai to win. He's the people's champion and everything.
Not me.
But I was there in 2013, and you should have seen the crowd in the
one thing.
Orleans.
Okay, so you have Phil winning. Before we do Nigel and Bryce, I just want to ask, because I predict I can look into the future. You see, it's a gift I have, and I know that Kai Green is coming back. I know it. I know he signed the deal, and he needs to come back. So
I think so too.
So were you on Team Kai or Phil? Be honest.
I was on Team Kai.
Okay, Chris, were you on Team Phil or Kai?
Phil.
Cox?
Phil, bro.
Michael?
Phil.
Nigel?
I don't think it was ever close between the two.
I'm on Team Kai, but I hope he doesn't come back.
Greg?
Phil, all the way.
Okay, let's get Michael's predictions before we do Nigel's.
Yes, Mike.
8th place.
8th place, I have Akeem Williams.
Yeah.
My top, 7 through 2nd, these names could, I think, be in any order, literally any order. Even the guy who I might have in 2nd or 3rd could be 6th or 7th. But I'll put them in an order. 7th, I have Big Ramy. 6th, Rolly Winkler. 5th, Dexter Jackson. 4th, Hadi Chopin. 3rd, Brandon Curry. And 2nd, William Bonac. And 1st, it's Phil Heath.
Very interesting. Very interesting.
Over there. You better be careful at the Olympia. Brandon Curry's bodyguard are going to slap you around with the laugh you just did. But anyway. Okay. So, Michael, you're a big Phil Heath. You love Phil Heath. How would you rate this comeback for you as a bodybuilding fan? Like, is it going to be? How would you rate it on your list? Is this of epicness?
Well, I mean, it all depends on how he comes back. If he comes back looking how I think he is going to look, it's going to be one of the biggest moments in the sport's history. Obviously, there's only been 2 other people who have won 8 Olympias. If he comes back and does it, it's one of the biggest moments ever. If he comes back and loses, it's still going to be great because, look, these guys are going to look as good as they're going to look this year because Phil is in it. Last year, they knew he wasn't. No one was 100%. No one. Not even the champion. It was not his best. But with Phil coming back, I think everyone is going to be 100% their best in terms of conditioning anyway.
Nigel, give me 8 and down.
So I'm going to upset a lot of people here. So 8th, I've got Justin Rodriguez. Then I've got Akeem, William Bonnet, Heidi, Dexter, Phil.
What? In 3rd?
Ronnie, and Rolly.
Stop.
I've got Rolly with.
Okay.
Oh my God! I want to see that one.
No. Okay, everyone. Okay, so
I'm leaving.
You have Rolly, Ramy, and Phil. Where's Brandon?
I'm sorry. So I've got Rolly, Rami, Curry, and Phil.
Okay,
Sorry.
yeah. In your opinion, why does Phil lose to those three other men?
I really don't buy into the fact that so I've had the same problem that he had with my midsection twice. And so it is very hard. If he comes in and his midsection looks great, God love him. He has a great surgeon, and I'm sure he does, but I had one of the best surgeons, and I had a huge amount of problems. Now, I'm not saying that I train anything like Phil or anything like that, but I'm saying that that type of surgery is very hard, especially when you've messed up the mesh before, and it does have a completely different look. So my abs have a completely different look than, someone who not had the surgery. Now, granted, I had the surgery for a different reason. I had fat versus he had a hernia. And so that might, heal a little differently, but I'm not really buying into the fact that he is going to be healed to the fact that there's not going to be an abnormality looking, there's going to be a problem with his midsection still. So that's the reason. I mean, just having knowledge of the surgery, being through that type of surgery, it's a big if.
Why do you have role?
So,
Yeah, Michael.
Do you think that Phil is going to look worse than he did in 2018?
I don't think he's going to look worse than he did in 2018, but I think
it's game over.
Your point. I think everybody's going to look better than they did before. I really do love the way that Rolly looks right now. Rolly and them are doing the right thing, and the thing that I've been saying for the last 5 years. That man can come down 10, 15 pounds, look shredded, and still have enough muscle to carry him. There is no reason why Rolly ever needs to look that big. Same thing with Rami. Both of them could come down. Rolly, that look that Rolly has in his face in some of the pictures that I've seen of him, it looks absolutely phenomenal. And if he comes in anywhere close, if he comes in better than 2018, that's a beautiful look there. And some people would even argue that he might have won that. Then that's a look. If it's better, that's a look that is hard to beat.
See,
Bader likes him full though. Bader fills those guys out, man. And if he doesn't overcarb, he'll look great. But the history of oxygen is full. I gotta be full. Listen, I love Rolly. He could be Mr. Olympia. Don't drink that Kool-Aid just yet, bro. Don't drink the Kool-Aid yet.
But Mike, listen. Here's the thing. I don't really. So Abdullah and who's the other guy that actually does?
Ashkar, yeah. Ahmad.
They're completely different trainers. And to me, if I was going to see Rolly full as a tick, we would have seen Rolly full as a tick and Magic Mirror picture. That Magic Mirror picture, I'll tell you what it reminds me of. Do you remember when Rolly won the New York Pro? Remember that?
Yeah.
That's
his best look.
That way that he looked coming into the New York Pro, that is promising. That, to me, is the best look. And Rolly will disagree with me all day, and we've had this conversation. That is the best look he ever put out to me other than 2018. If Rami looked like he did when he won the New York Pro, Rami's going to win it. That is a beautiful look on Rami. There's no reason why these guys need to be that big. None.
Rami can never look like the New York Pro ever again. His waist is a lot wider. And let's face it, he's oiled the hell out of those quads.
So Rolly
and delts.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
What
he's suspicious.
Yeah, but what happened to Rolly's waist a couple of years ago? What exactly happened to Rolly's waist in 18?
Not the waist, it's the glutes and hams.
No, but I mean, his
ass
waist came down. No, his waist came down.
It did, but it's because the fat on his lower back and the glutes went down.
No, I agree with you on the back. If his back looks good, I'm just saying right now, the way that he looks right now, I think he has a fighting chance. And I
also diazide and insulin. Man, that's going to kill the fighting chance.
Well, you don't know what he's doing right now, but I'm just saying. But it's just like I haven't seen Phil. Have you guys seen Phil? Nobody's seen Phil.
But Phil's got a history, right? We can go back in history and say Phil's going to be ripped. He's going to be dry. He's going to be round. Listen, I get it, but And if his abs aren't sticking out, if he doesn't look, his abs aren't sticking out, and no, you're not gonna lose a show because your abs aren't great. You know what I mean? Like Terry Pastel had great abs, he didn't win very many shows, right?
Listen,
but as long as it's tight and not distended, it's hard to beat that, man.
If that were true, Sean Roden should have never won the Olympia because Sean Roden was not. I'm sorry, Sean. No disrespect to Sean Roden, but Sean Roden did, like everybody said, did not win the Mr. Olympia. What lost the Mr. Olympia for him, for Phil, is the fact that abs are always in every single shot. And I know that being, and again, if Phil straightens out that problem after having that abdominal surgery, more power to him. You know what? I'm not a Phil fan, but I will become a Phil fan because I know what it takes in order to go through that surgery and to recover from that surgery.
Last question to you, because we have to go in 3 minutes. How do you... Rami lost to Dexter Jackson at the Arnold Classic, but you still have him now beating Brandon at Olympia. Why is that?
You know what? I love Dexter because he's my age. So I love anybody who's my age and who can actually get on stage and look that good. I just think that Rami, one of the things that I like that Rami is doing is that he went back to Dennis James. I think that's a really good move for him. I think it's going to be really, really close with him and Dexter because I also think that Dexter is going to look very good in his last Olympia. So it was a really, I think it was, somebody said this Olympia from 5 to 1st, for me, it was hard because I don't have Phil walking away with it by any means. I think if Phil gets it, it's going to be a fight. Everybody's going to look really, really good. And that's what makes this, the whole Olympia is going to be awesome because to me, there's not one clear-cut winner here. No one's going to walk.
I agree on that bit.
Guys, we have to go. Did you guys enjoy it?
Great.
Yeah, son.
It was good.
100%. It was amazing.
You're going to put all your Instagram in there so people can follow you. This is Bodybuilding's at, 1 million followers now? What do you got, bro?
No. Almost 500,000.
There you go.
Michael, I want you to answer your DMs sometimes.
What's that?
I need you to answer your DMs sometimes.
Oh my God! I don't pay attention to it sometimes.
Okay, guys, this is going to be one of the most special Olympias probably of all time. When you think about the COVID situation and the world's completely going to the toilet, but this is going to rejuvenate the people, isn't it?
Big shout out to Jake for getting this done.
Yeah. Okay, guys. And whoever of you, because we're going to stream, we're going to have a live reaction show here where the Olympia is at. We got Samson Dowda coming to the studio. So whoever of you wants to come on after prejudging and discuss, we hope some of you have time.
I'm ready.
Sure, no problem.
100%.
Safe trip to everyone going to Orlando.
Enjoy yourselves, guys.
And last thing's very important to all the bodybuilders who's watching this. I really hope you guys don't get it's like we don't want to offend anyone, but it's we really love the sport and we just want to talk about it. I hope the guys don't start killing us for this, huh? It is.
Yeah, it's nothing but respect to everyone.
I know.
That's on that Olympia stage. So
and
I love rolling.
Yeah. And from Muscular Development, and we out. See you guys. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye.
Since my pick, Rolly Winkler, is out of the Olympia, my pick will be Rami, then Heidi Chupan, then Brandon Curry, Phil Heath, William Bonnick, and rounding that out, Dexter Jackson.
How did you like that one, bro?
That was amazing. Having so many opinionated people in here,
I know.
I felt like an amateur.
Oh no! But it's this was not planned. This was not scripted. This was so it's obviously you don't follow, for instance, Men's Physique. He doesn't follow fitness, and you know what I mean. Like it's
of
all
course.
different, but there's a lot of opinions, a lot of. Hunter Labrada stuck out as many people liked. Andel Calderon.
Oh, 100%.
A lot of love for Kamal.
Yes.
I would see, surprisingly, you guys are not on the same team as I am. You're not on the Lonsford team, I've noticed.
Lunsford, again, we're talking about history.
We know. And Phil Heath seems like to be
the main guy, I think, the guy to beat, even though he's been out for the years.
Could we see a shot from Rowley, as Nigel said?
I can't see it happening. He's been injured before. His knees were injured, and his legs weren't really that conditioned. So it's really hard for me to. I mean, I'd love to see him coming back to hit those, that top 5 position, but it's going to be a fight, as I said. Right in the beginning, AJ, I did say that it's an open Olympia because we haven't seen anyone really in any of the pictures. Everyone was scared to put pictures up because if you were training and the gym owner knows that you're posting pictures, he's actually in big trouble. So we actually didn't see anyone here, and it is an open Olympia. I mean, let's not kid ourselves.
We are excited. Next Friday, prejudging, and can you get on Zoom after prejudging and we'll talk about the prejudging?
Oh yes, I will remind you.
And it was great having you on.
Thank you very much for having me, guys. Thank you.
And what's your Instagram?
The Dictator 23 as usual, and I've got the Dictator Media, which we'll probably put many pictures of us in there too now.
Was that inspired by the movie The Dictator?
Apparently I look like Sacha Baron Cohen with a beard.
And there we go, and we out.